What's up, guys? Blademaster here with Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Hello.
Hey, dude. We are going to be showing you the second game that both of us fought, again using only the Empires of Sand DLC factions. In this match, I'm commanding the Lakhmids, and Maximus is commanding the...
Culturally confused Tano kids with more Roman units than Tanukid units.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to hate the Romans?
I think they are more a nation of peace, love, spice, herbs.
They've been smoking way too much herbs. If they were
Definitely.
me. So with the Lakhmids, I brought 4 desert tribesmen up in front. I've also got a total of 4 Sanai, 3 Armenian slingers, 2 on my left, 1 on my right, and a desert chieftain general with a total of I've got 4 Aldauser, and a couple of Wadai as well. So all completely unique cavalry line for me,
Yep.
and I can't wait to show you guys how good these Aldauser are. What about you, Maximus?
I decided to try something funky this time, so I brought 5 armored camels, some upgrades to help them a bit with their morale. The desert warlord, of course, 2 skirmishers in the back, only 2 slingers. Then I have 6 desert legionary defectors and 4 desert palatina defectors.
Good lord, that's so much melee.
So much melee, but so much shitty melee. Like 14 charge, 16 charge, and 40 melee damage on all of them. They do have stationary testudo, which is what I'm basically want to live test whether I was hoping you would frontally cav charge me and I would get to test stationary testudo. But let's see if that happens.
Yeah. So I'm pulling back my Aldauser. I don't know what the missile block on these guys are, but it's definitely not as good as the armored camel warriors who are taking fire from Armenian slingers. And while every other cavalry unit in the game would get slaughtered by Armenian slingers, these guys just beasted out because... And why is that, Maximus?
Well, because of their 60% missile block and 860 armor. That just means a lot of missiles will hit anyway, but when they block 60% of the missiles that hit and have a chance to block 100% of the damage from the Armenians, the math just doesn't add up in terms of damage against them.
Yeah. Just insane. They've been taking so much fire. Like, my Armenian slingers are down by, like, I think I've lost like 3 or 4 volleys already. Just wasted them because these guys haven't done anything. And now the desert tribesman, which actually killed off your desert hurler, is about to get charged by the armored camel warriors.
I thought this was a unit of Sanai, so I have no idea why I'm spending so much fire on them. I thought, okay, I have to get this unit off. It's a dangerous infantry unit. I didn't see it was the shitty desert tribes.
Right. And now your armored camel warrior is going to take a great charge from my Aldauser, and the Aldauser are actually incredibly strong. Like,
Yeah.
look at the number of kills they get on armored camel warriors.
They win hard on the charge here.
Yeah, oh my god. 59 melee attack, 30 attack versus cavalry. These are probably the strongest melee cavalry unit in the game, would you say, or is it still Noble Alani?
I haven't tested these guys against Noble Alani, so I can't say.
Yeah, and keep
But
in mind the Noble Alani are 675 to these guys 750.
yeah, so that kind of skews it in favor of the Noble Alani, but definitely close to OP cav unit.
Yeah. So now I'm popping scared. Oh no, I've just used speed. These guys, I've just used the penalty to speed from the slingers. These Aldauser, on top of everything else, have the fear ability and can scare, so that is a shit ton of morale debuff.
Huge problem for armored camel warriors, and of course I'm sending in my support with desert legionary defectors, while your infantry support consists of 50 melee damage, 14 AP, bonus versus infantry. I'm not going to be winning this engagement. Just no way.
Sanai don't have bonus versus infantry.
Okay, they don't have the Conda.
No, they have it's 36-14, but I don't see any attack versus infantry in this thing that Walrus Jones put.
Okay, nice. Then they have a new type of sword. I thought they would have the Conda due to the weapon, but maybe it's not the Conda.
I don't think the URs have bonus versus cavalry either.
Versus infantry.
Versus infantry. I'm pretty sure they don't. Well,
Have they removed the bonus versus infantry on the wars?
Pretty sure they did. Yeah, in the last patch they did.
Oh, interesting.
But what I over here on the flanks, extreme flanks, destroying some more camel warriors and then rear charging some of the desert legionary defectors. I think I finished off. Yeah, I finished off one of the desert legionary or desert palatina by the by themselves, basically the Wadai.
Yeah.
Now they're going to come in and destroy the armored camel warriors as well. Wadai, very good unit. Well, not the best unit, but decent when you pair them up with the Aldauser.
Yeah, good armor, very good melee defense for a shock cav. There's nothing wrong with this unit whatsoever.
Yeah, the only little niggle that I would find is that they're not very heavy. They're just heavy.
Yeah.
But
Still enough to just to wreck infantry.
absolutely. Do they have 20 bonus versus cavalry as well? So now I'm just wreaking havoc on the rear of these desert palatina. Here I'm pulling out my desert chieftain after popping brace. Oh no, I've just popped sting. So your armored camel warriors will fall to my Aldauser, but all in all, it doesn't look that bad now that you have a lot of melee infantry. That's you have basically 2 melee infantry to my 1 in terms of desert palatina. Could be pulling off a very cool, well, very standard assassinate strategy where you just pile on the infantry and you make up for the fact that they're shitty by just bringing sheer numbers.
Yeah, the issue with that, of course, is that with assassinates, it does make sense in terms of price, but here it doesn't. I'm spending far more. I'm spending like 900 to defeat the unit of yours that costs 600 something.
Yeah.
And not even doing a great job of it. So when I looked at your army, I was like, how the hell am I going to win this? Like, I don't see any way other than you just messing up royally and charging into precursors with your cav, something like that.
Right. So what are you going to rear charge the desert legionary defectors? Wasn't a great charge, but still they do drop by quite a bit. My Sanai now got 116 kills, but they are wavering, of course. If they're going to be fighting up against 2 units, they'll do very well, but it just won't be enough to kill both the units.
Yeah.
Armored camel warriors got a downhill charge on my Wadai. So Wadai going to be taking some damage over there. I'm going to pull in my army.
But look at the damage they did against the camels on the charge. Even though it wasn't a great charge, even though they pulled out of a unit to get the charge, they still wrecked the camels.
Yeah, well, the camels I think were a bit depleted, like in terms of health. Probably, I would expect that.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm not. Yeah. What I hear going to charge into the desert warlord, and the desert warlord is not going to like that at all. Didn't really get the best charge in, but still going to get good number of kills here against the desert warlord. You've used brace, which is smart, and you're going to come in with armored camel warriors. Look really weird due to my shitty graphical settings.
They have a very funky charging running animation.
Yeah. But I'm going to pull in Sanai, and with that excellent melee damage and that AP damage, they're going to cause a lot of damage against these armored camels and desert warlord.
Yeah. I mean, this is another engagement where I'm piling in the units, but I'm losing.
Yeah. And here, I just set my Armenian Slinger on melee mode against your Desert Mountain Skirmishes. They were out of ammo anyway, so I just wanted to chase off your guys. They actually take a lot of damage while pulling through my Armenian Slingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, Armenian Slingers have been wasted, and that's a lot of money that's gone down the drain because these guys, I mean, they cost a lot. You expect them to do very well, but against armored camels, just won't do anything.
Not so much. But you don't really need them against armored camels. You just need good shock and infantry support.
Here's Sanai beasting it out against the piss poor Desert Palatina defectors. Well, they're not terrible. They're pretty bad actually.
Yeah, it's the lack of charge and melee attack and most of all damage. They just do not deal the damage.
They're pretty comparable to the elite Dalemites, though, right? How much are these guys, Desert Palatina?
475 ish.
I mean, all in all, it's not the worst.
But the Dalemites have shield wall, and that's a huge difference.
True. They have shield wall. Attila. So Aldas are going to rear charge this Desert Palatina defector. They're also medium, whereas I think the elite Dalemites are probably heavy.
I think they are.
Really sure about it. Yeah. Armored Camel Warriors somehow defeating my Wadai. Maybe they didn't get a proper charge in. But all in all, it's not looking great.
No.
I've got 2 Sanai half strength, basically full strength Desert Tribesmen. The only good thing is that my Desert Warlord has died, so my general has died. But going to charge in here against your Desert Warlord, and I think you're propping Grace a second time.
Yep.
Nice. And then I'm going to charge in with Sanai.
Yeah, that's what kills the infantry support here with the decent charge, great damage,
Yeah.
a potential of 100 damage. Very nice.
You don't have the best health, but you don't need all that health when you have such good melee attack and
Yeah.
damage combo.
I think these guys actually have the Sparta. They don't have the Conda, they have the Sparta, which is why
Right.
they have no bonus.
Yeah, actually, maybe the wars have the bonus. The wars have the Kanda, right?
The Conda still has the bonus, but these guys have the Sparta, which doesn't have the bonus. Just massive damage, good AP. Still a very good
Sparta is
weapon.
also what the Elite Palatina have, right?
Yes, and the Herculeani Signores and the Sassanid General.
Okay. So yeah, that's the end of this game. Pretty interesting one. At least you can see the Camel Warriors tanking out missiles, but then the opposite of tanking out, getting shredded by Aldauser.
Yeah.
Um,
The lack of shock. I mean, like this is a pretty big departure away from what I know to be an effective army in Attila. Like I've never played with this many melee units and been serious about it. And the same thing with melee infantry and melee cavalry, because the great thing about shock infantry and the great thing about shock cavalry is that you do the damage very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas with melee, you need time to do so. And when the infantry is worse than the enemy infantry, it's a losing game. I would have needed to surround you somehow, but of course, surrounding with melee infantry when there's cavalry around to just knock them off the field is very, very hard.
Which is why you see most players bring a mix of shock and melee, except for maybe Huns and Sassanids.
Yeah.
Because shock cavalry is just so purely so strong that you just don't need.
Yeah, basically what you brought, like 4 shock, 2 melee. I think that's close to perfect. Or you had 4 melee and 2 shock.
But that's the only reason I did that is because the Aldauser are just super strong.
Yeah, when you have 30 bonus against large, then bring that, like the Noble
And
Elani.
also, I was expecting a Mavia army from you. I was expecting like the Mavia charges and stuff. So I was going to put the Aldauser in diamond.
Ah, I see. Well, the
I
Mavias...
would have really needed it.
No, the Mavias would die horrible deaths, I think. And of course, also I knew you had Armenians, so that's kind of why I wanted to bring the armored camels as well.
Right.
Because everything else on my side would just get super wrecked by Armenians.
Honestly, I don't think this is that bad of an army from your part, but you just needed to bring some Tanukid ambushes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Of the legionary defectors with the aggressiveness of the Tanukid ambushes.
One more cav unit and some Tanukid ambushers, and this isn't horrible, but it's still pretty bad. But I really like these. The Desert Tribesmen, great unit for doing what you did early on, pushing back skirmishers, getting some nice kills, getting the charges from the cavalry to happen.
I would say the Lakhmids are up there. I think the Lakhmids are a very, very strong desert faction.
I'd say, I mean, it's no contest. Himyar, top faction.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And below them, it depends a lot on what you bring, of course. But
the Maxim can be very good. The Lakhmids themselves can be pretty decent. If you bring the Drakh Rains or the Mace infantry, then you can kiss your chances of winning a battle goodbye.
Pretty much. There are a lot of infantry units like that, where like their charge is low, their weapon damage is low, they have high IP, but it just doesn't deal the damage fast enough. And when they're running around with 100 health and 40 armor, they're going to die way, way too quickly.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, that's the end of the second battle. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you to Maximus Decimus Meridius for co-commenting this with me.
Strength and Honor had a good time in the first battle, not so much in the second.
It was the opposite for me. So
Weird how that works.
Alright, you guys stay tuned for more. Peace.
Later.